What sabotages our desire? Fear. And we usually know when we're in fear. But there is something else that will sabotage your desire. And most people aren't even aware that they're doing it. That's what I'm going to be talking about on today's video. Are you ready? Let's go. Welcome back. My name is Dom, and I help people to step into their truth and power. Today, I want to talk about what sabotages our desires for allowing our desires to come into fruition. And for most people, the first thing that they would likely say is fear. The good thing about this is that we usually know when we're in fear, and I've spoken about this in a number of videos over the past couple of weeks about desire. But there is something else that will sabotage your desire, and most people aren't even aware that they're doing it. Can you take a guess at what that is? What do you think that is? Type it in the comments below. What do you think that is? What's that one thing, other than fear, that causes you to sabotage your desires from coming into reality? Now, as you're taking a moment to do that and type that in the comments, I just want to take a moment to invite you to join my brand new free online community, ProEmpowerment Online. I'll be sharing valuable tips and content each week in a newsfeed, but even more, you'll have the ability to join in the conversation in a place where we can share freely without being shut down or censored. And I've also loaded some brand new online courses that I've created that you can register for. So to join me in the community, it's 100% free. Just click on the ProEmpowerment Online link in the comments and description box below. So, what do you think is the one thing sabotaging most people that they're not even aware of when it comes to living out their desires? The one thing sabotaging most people's desires from coming into fruition for them is neediness. Now, you might be thinking, I'm not needy. I know for myself, that was my initial reaction too. And so if this is present for you, if you're finding yourself in that response, I want to invite you to just give me a chance and hear me out on this. Because if you're not experiencing your desire coming into fruition, or you're feeling stuck and making your heart's desire come true, it's likely you're not even aware that you're doing this. Perhaps your desire is to have more clients coming to your business. Or maybe your desire is to get a boyfriend or girlfriend. Or perhaps you have a desire to feel more connected with your spouse. Or maybe you have a desire to be earning more money. Or maybe you have a desire to be more fit and healthy. It really doesn't matter what the desire is. Just understand that you're first in relationship with yourself, in whatever that desire is. You own the responsibility for the relationship you have with yourself in terms of how you're showing up to the desire you want to experience. So let's talk about the most common form of neediness people are aware of, and that's a need to be in a relationship with someone. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever had the experience of a person coming on to you in their neediness before? Have you ever had that experience? I know I have. And how did you feel when you experienced that? How did you respond to them? I know I likely respond by, it's kind of like this, I'm pushing them away, right? I'm repelling them. Chances are you've likely felt a little creeped out, or you resisted them too. Maybe you stepped back, or energetically you created space in conversation. Well, guess what? This is the way all relationships work. If you're wanting more connection with your spouse and you show up being in that neediness of connection, what do you suppose the outcome might be? Likely, you'll turn them off and repel them even more. There is nothing attractive about being needy in our neediness, and many people aren't even conscious of when they're being needy, but they're super aware of the outcomes from their neediness. And so guess what? In the case where you're wanting more clients, but you're in that spirit of needing to sign a client, the other person is going to feel that and be repelled away from working with you. They can feel that need. I've always said energy doesn't lie. The energy we put out into the world is as obvious as the nose on your face. You can't hide it. And if you think you can fake it, good luck, because now you're not only needy, but you're a freaking con artist too. I'm serious. I am. People will feel this. And this is true for our relationship with money too. Yes, you hold a relationship with money. And that relationship is likely more alive than some of the relationships you actually have with people. I kid you not. First-hand experience is talking to you right here. So if you're desiring to earn more money, but you're showing up into the world being in need of money or in a scarcity mindset, guess what's going to happen? All of the opportunities that could bring you more money will be actually repelled away from you. So do you see how neediness is the silent sabotager of our desires? When we're in our neediness, our focus is external and directed outside of us. Our neediness requires validation from others, and it creates dependency on the outside world for our happiness within. So you might be asking, but Dom, how do I change this? Well, understand that the repelling from others occurs because in our need, our energy is projected to others outside of us in search of filling that need to make us happy within. Energetically, we're making other people responsible for their happiness, which is why they feel repelled. Now, I don't know about you, but I have a hard enough time trying to keep myself happy. The last thing I want is the responsibility for keeping someone else happy. I don't want that, because that becomes what's called codependency. I don't want happiness to be hinged on someone else's ability to make me happy. And I don't want someone else's happiness to be hinged on my ability to make them happy. That's not a healthy or empowering place to be. So to cure our neediness, we must become empowered. And that happens when we take full responsibility for our own happiness. And so to do that, instead of projecting that energy outwards, we must redirect that energy back inwards to ourselves, inwards towards our heart. So your desire to have more clients or to earn more money or to be in a new relationship must come from your heart's desire, not your head. Our heart's desire are divine desires. There is no neediness energy present there. There is a lot of love and creation energy. There can't be any fiber in our being that is charged with that energy of needing to sign a client or needing to have money or needing to be in relationship with someone. You've got to let that shit go. If we're in our neediness, it's like we're not operating from the trust and faith coming from our heart's divine desires. But we're in our ego and we're making attempts to try and control a particular outcome. I'm going to say this again because this is key here. If we're in our neediness, it's likely we're not operating from the trust and faith coming from our heart's divine desires, but we're in our ego and we're making attempts to try and control a particular outcome. Oh, I know that truth may not feel good to hear, but I also know that I'm sharing this from my heart because I don't want you to continue going round and round in the same experiences of not getting what you desire. My intention is to help you break free from that. And sometimes it takes or requires a little bit of truth serum to kind of snap us into what's really happening for us. I know it did for me, and this was some hard truth for me. But when I opened myself up to it being possible and I took responsibility for my experience and began to understand the dynamics of how this works, then my reality began to change and I started experiencing all of my desires beginning to become a reality for me. I just want you to know how powerful you really are when you're operating and being led from your divine heart from within. And how to have all of what your divine heart desires for you. It doesn't matter what aspect of life we're talking about here. It could be your career, it could be your money, it could be relationships, it could be your health. It doesn't matter. What I shared with you today works the same in all aspects. And so I'm inviting you to let go of the need to control everything. Trust where your heart is divinely leading you. You'll begin living into your truth in full integrity and allowing you to experience love and freedom like you never have before. And so with that, I'm curious, what was the one thing that really spoke to you today in this video about sabotaging and neediness? Share that in the comments below. That would help me, and I would love to encourage you to embrace it and begin living it out. So I want to thank you today for joining me, and until I connect with you again for my next video, stay well, stay healthy, and stay empowered.